Good morning, everyone. Hi. Welcome to our Unity on the River virtual Sunday service. It is April the 11th, and we are coming to you in live real time. So we got a Zoom room full of people. Is that right? A Zoom room full of people. And I know some folks may be watching on YouTube and on Facebook. We're so thrilled you are here with us this morning. If you're watching this other than Sunday morning, please note that yes, you can join our Zoom service every Sunday moving on. Those links will be on our website at unityontheriver.org. You can always watch on YouTube and on Facebook, again, live Sunday mornings or anytime afterwards. Let us begin the service as we always do with a centering prayer. So, I invite you to, if you're comfortable, gently close the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Become fully present to ourselves and to each other here in this moment. Giving thanks that as we continue to enjoy the awakening of springtime, leaves budding on trees, flowers blooming, birds chirping, frogs croaking, crickets chirping, as the world around us awakens and reawakens. Let us also invite that continual awakening of ourselves to the fullness of the Christ nature that we are. Spring is the perfect metaphor for that self-awareness and fully awakening, bringing that infinite presence that is God into the reality of the world in, through, and as us. This is why we're here. This is who we're called to be. And today we come together to celebrate that, to honor that in community together. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen and amen. So as always, we have lots and lots of great music for you today. It's a full house. It's more than full house. Actually, our music director, Meg Rain, is here, and she brought a bunch of friends with her. We've got Lucian Parker on the harp today. We got Christine, and we got Tammy guesting on guitar. Hey, Tammy, it's been a while since we've seen you. So glad to have you back with us. As usual, we have our boys in the shed, Brian and Keith. They're also going to share some tunes with us today. And always good to see those guys. So let us head back over to Megs for The Peace Train.
Get on the train. Peace. Take it away, Brian.
All right. Very nice. Let's see. Oh, we got a problem here. We can't see Keith. That's an issue. Well, let me just adjust that.
Read what that say. Every time it comes up, we can't get to it.
There we go. Everyone ready? Let's all get ready. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of love. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of love. Get ready, my soul. Take it, Keith. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my secret source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my secret source. Oh, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everyone, all together now. Here we go. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Yeah, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, all the musicians. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let us dive in right now to the silence. That is that place, in Unity we're referred to as that meet-in place between the human self, the divine self, and all that is. So if you are comfortable, find yourself in that comfortable position you like to be in for meditation, whether you are sitting down, you're lying down, kneeling down, whatever works best for you at this point in time. Gently close the eyes. We're going to let Meg take us in with a song, There Is Only Love. And as she sings, just simply allow yourself to connect with the breath, connect with the body, and relax into a place of full presence to yourself into the divine within. Take it away, Meg.
There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Indeed, there is only love. There is only the one power and the one presence we call God. And everything else is simply an attempt to recognize and return to that. Let us ground ourselves in that truth as we continue to breathe deeper right now. Allowing our attention to follow the inflow and the outflow of breath. Allowing the body to continue to relax with each exhalation and each inhalation, bringing our attention deeper within. And should we become distracted in this moment by a thought, by a sound, by a sensation, by a feeling in the body, we simply notice without judgment, without resistance, without struggle, and return to the breath, to this now moment. Let's breathe. And I invite you to center your attention on your heart space. If it helps, put a hand on your heart. This space symbolically recognizing as the center of our being. Let us breathe into that. Center ourselves in that, in this moment. With each breath, allowing that heart center to open even more. Connecting even deeper with that true essence that we are. It is only love. And just as our world awakens to spring, to life, to beauty, Let us set the intention and surrender to even further opening of this divine self that we are. Could we find ourselves in moments of doubt, of uncertainty, of confusion, pain, of fear, feelings of abandonment arise, feelings of betrayal. We simply notice them as the experience of our frightened selves. And we remember to breathe and return to the heart center, allowing it to open and stream forth that all-encompassing, never-ending presence of love, of wisdom, of strength, of faith, of all that we are that God is. For when we rest in that place, we truly know that all is well. We do not deny that all may not feel well, but the reality is that beyond the feelings, all is well. All is well. So let us rest for a few moments in the silence, in that reassurance that when we live in and from the heart, from love, all is well. For a few moments in the silence. All is well. We hold this intention for ourselves, for our loved ones, for all that transpires in and around us. Allowing ourselves to not be pulled away from the center, but let everything serve as a reminder to dive deeper, open the hearts fuller, and be the presence of God. We are the presence of God. And let us anchor this as we sing together, surely the present.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Thank you, Meg and Christine and Lucian. Tammy. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place, as it is every time we show up. If there's nothing else, I hope you get from the talks I've given over the last 6 years, it is that fact. You are the presence of God. And, you know, we end every service with our prayer of protection in that last line, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And I hope you really understand and really get that wherever you are, God is, because God walked in the door as you. It's, yes, God is omnipresence. There is no place where God isn't. But in terms of God being in action, God being felt, God being seen, God being heard, it is each and every one of us. So that's who we are, and that's how we walk in to the place. We don't walk in looking for God, we walk in as God. And today it's a weird sort of bittersweet place for me. You know, we did our Holy Week services, and today begins the last month, the last 3 services that I'll be doing as your minister. And it's a weird place to be. I feel like I'm in, like, walking in 2 worlds at the same time, right? So I'm wrapping up my time here as your minister, and as most of you know, I've started my new online ministry venture. It's like almost like I'm doing 2 jobs at the same time, transitioning. And it's not that it's 2 new jobs. It's I'm doing the same work. I'm doing the same work in terms of, like, showing up and being that I hate to use the word messenger, vehicle. Those are not right words. I'm doing what I'm called to do, which is to co-create safe space for the deepening and the realization and the expression of divine consciousness. That's been my personal credo, mission since I left seminary, and I'm simply transitioning into a new platform, a new delivery vehicle, if you want. And it's folks are still asking, what is it that you're doing exactly? So I would invite you, and I'm sharing this not as a recruitment plug, but I'm sharing this with you because you'll see in a moment how this ties into what I'm going to be talking about today. The new project I'm doing is called Project Sanctus. That's the name of it. Sanctus meaning holy. And if you want to get online, projectsanctus.com is the website. But our tagline is this, or our description of what we're doing is a safe, brave online space to discover and be our holiest self. A safe, brave online space to discover and be our holiest self. And in so doing, together, we can create a world of equanimity, justice, and love for all. And I think in many ways, this is what Unity on the River has always been doing, being that space so people can come into and discover their holiest selves as well. But right now we are doing a monthly theme called New Beginnings, not just because it's new for us, but because at some point in our lives, we're always stepping into a new beginning, right? Whether it's a beginning of our choosing or it's a beginning that was thrust upon us, we're always beginning anew. There's a verse in the scriptures by the Apostle Paul who says, I die daily, which in other words, he's saying, I'm allowing parts of my old self to fall away so that the newer version of who I want to be, intend to be, that divine self of me can come forth. So we're always stepping into this new idea of beginnings. And what's really important about when we step into new beginnings, whether again, it's a beginning of our choosing, or it's a beginning that was thrust upon us, it's what are we telling ourselves during that time? Because when new beginnings, and honestly, new endings, because a beginning is really just, an ending that's moved on. They're kind of one and the same. When that happens, much of us gets triggered, right? A lot of times those fears, those anxieties, those embedded beliefs about ourselves, positive or negative, get triggered. So it's that question is what are we telling ourselves? And the reason why this is important is because we live life from the inside out. We all know this. We live from the inside out. It's like Unity's third principle. We create our experience. And most people seem to often interpret that as we're the ones who are going to dictate what happens outside of us. That's not wholly accurate. As I always like to remind us, there are 7 billion people on this planet. We don't co-create what they do. We don't create for them. We just create for ourselves. What that really means is we determine how we experience what's happening in our lives. And depending on how we choose to experience what happens in our lives determines how we walk into that experience, the choices we make. And therefore, yes, it does in many ways influence what happens outside of us, because that's what our choices do, right? The choices we make decide the direction, the path our life goes, and those connected with us. So in order to make the choices that are highest and best for who we are and who we seek to be, a lot of that begins with what we tell ourselves, because what we tell ourselves will determine, am I choosing from that divine, true, centered light place of who I am, or am I choosing from the human, often frightened, often fearful, often seek it to protect itself from any pain, self of me? Those are two very important choices that we have to make. I covered a lot of this a while back in Spiritual Partnerships, if you want to go back and watch that series. But the reason I'm bringing this up today is because here we are as spiritual community on this precipice of a new beginning, right? We are about to come out of isolation from the pandemic. That's going to be a few weeks, months down the road. We are at a place where there's questions about purchasing a new space. Where are we going to meet? It's going to be a new space because we no longer have the old space. Before long, we're going to have to figure out what the community is going to be doing in terms of a new minister. Are we going to have a new interim, a new transition minister? What are the questions around a new permanent minister? there's a whole bunch of new beginnings about to roll out for Unity on the River. And that can be scary. That can be daunting. How you feel about these new beginnings coming up for Unity on the River is a direct reflection of how you feel about new beginnings in general. The questions and the self-talk you have about Unity on the River and its new beginnings are a reflection of the self-talk you give yourself when there's new beginnings in your own life. What are you telling yourself about yourself and about this community as we are at the precipice of these new beginnings? What are the questions that are rising? Are we going to find a new minister? Who's that new minister going to be? Are they going to want to be us? Can they be a new minister? We don't have a building. Who's going to want to come to us if we have a new building? Where's the new building going to be? All these questions arise. Again, that's natural. We're humans. But we have to realize that a lot of the questions arise because of our desire to know. Why? Because we believe that when we know, we will be safe. We believe that when we know, we will be safe. We have allowed ourselves to believe that with knowledge, with certainty, we can avoid the pain, we can avoid the discomfort, and we will be safe. There's nothing further from the truth, because guess what, folks? Newsflash, hot take, we will never, ever be 100% certain about anything. We just can't. That's the nature of life. The nature of life is that there is no certainty. There's generalities. Sure, we know every time around this year, things are going to warm up. Spring's going to happen. So we can know those generalities. Do we know exactly what date any given tree is going to spring some leaves or any flowers are going to bloom? No, we don't know. Within the generalities, there's always uncertainty. I don't think any of you, spend any time in February being panicked or anxious that spring wasn't going to happen. No. It was coming because it came every year. That's just the nature of how nature works. Spring is always going to rise. Well, let's apply that same, faith to this spiritual community as it moves forward. The spiritual community has been around for how many years? What are we, 25, 28, 9? I've lost count. Because simply last year was like 3 years rolled into one, so that's why I lost count. The community has survived, thrived through the first minister, now through the second. Could there be any question that it wouldn't continue through a third minister, or a fourth, or a fifth? This community is a presence of light and love. It's always been that from the beginning. It's not always been in the same location that it started at. Otherwise, we'd all be huddled in Shipley's living room right now. But we're not. We haven't been for years. So it's not the first time the community has had to find a new space. We all know this. Some of us have been here long enough that you've lived it. So the question arises, why is there anxiety, if any, around what's happening next? Just as we're not anxious about spring, why should we be anxious about what's happening with the community? It's been here before. And there's no certainty that it won't be here again. But what's the constant presence here? You, the community, you, the people, your intentions, your willingness to serve, your willingness to connect, your willingness to be that presence of love. That's the constant that's always been here, regardless of who's been on the pulpit, regardless of what space you've been meeting in, regardless of who's been on staff, regardless of who's been sitting in the congregation. Those things have all changed. So those things will always change. That's the nature of church. That's the nature of life. And just as we are always clear that spring will arise, that summer will blaze warm on us, and that fall, those leaves will trickle to the ground, and there will be a time of hibernation in winter, and we will start all over again. And no one ever doubts that. No one ever questions that. Yes, even in the midst of our planet warming and we got climate change, no one doubts that the seasons aren't going to happen. Do not doubt that this community will not survive, thrive, and keep going. Because as long as you are here, there will be a unity on the river. It's weird to say this, and some of you might have issues with what I'm about to say, but here it goes. Where you meet and who your minister is doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Why? Because you are the church. Each and every one of you who calls this place your spiritual home, you are the church. So you got to get clear about who you are, and the rest will take care of itself. Everything springs from you. You are the heart, the soul, the light, the life of the community. You decide who your minister is going to be, not the other way around. You decide that. You decide everything, but you got to decide who you are. And part of, and not part of, but the essence of who you are is here in the heart. There's the power in the one presence that we call God. It is the center of peace, love, and strength that does not know fear, that does not know anxiety, that does not know lack. That is the essence of who you are. And if there's anything else that you do from this day forth, is you remember that. You live that, regardless of what happens, regardless of how many false starts might happen in terms of reopening, regardless of how the next minister application process goes. All that's irrelevant. All that's irrelevant. I wasn't your first minister, not going to be your last. The next minister, probably not going to be your last either. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's how all is well. I titled this talk, All Good Things. And I'm sure that when you read it, you probably jumped to the assumption that, or that saying came to mind, all good things must come to an end. There's that saying. There's another saying, which is a little bit of all good things come to those who wait. But I want to plant this seed in you for reframing this statement, because again, it's all about what we tell ourselves. Our self-talk is so important. If you haven't gotten it yet, what you tell yourself about yourself is probably the most important thing you can do walking through this life. So here's a new adaptation of all good things. All good things lead to more good things. All good things lead to more good things. And in the 25 plus years, 28, 29 years of this community, there's been a lot of good things. A lot of good things. And it's just going to lead to more good things. So here's my invitation to you. Ground yourself in that. All good things lead to more good things. Ground yourself in the truth that each and every one of you, collectively, is the center of love and light, and that's where you need to come from. Do not get caught up in the anxieties, the politics, the attachments of what comes next for you. Don't get caught up in the, I don't like this place where we're meeting. Why are we renting this place? Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the, why is this taking so long? Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in, I don't like this guest speaker. I don't like this person who's trying to be our minister. I don't like this hire. Don't get caught up in that. That is self-talk that distracts you from the truth of who you are as individuals and as a spiritual community. That is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is that each and every one of you shows up as the fullness and presence of love in every single moment of your individual lives and your collective lives as this community. That's how all good things lead to more good things. If there's nothing else you hear from me in these next 3 weeks, if there's nothing else you take from me in the course of the 6+ years that I've been here as your minister, take that. You are the presence of God. Do not let yourself be distracted by anything less than that. Peace be with you. All right. What comes next? We have a song. I think we got a song now.
Yeah,
we got a song.
We got a great song. We got Lucian Parkin singing Jump Down Jesus.
Get your Jesus boots on, everyone.
I jumped down, Jesus, jumped down. Sweet man, you've been hanging too long. Man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging too long. Man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging too long. Oh, jump down, Jesus, jump down. Be a part of what makes us dance. Be a part of what makes us, part of what makes us, part of what makes us dance. Part of what makes us, part of what makes us, part of what makes us dance. Jump down, Jesus, jump down. Put your Jesus boots on. We'll put our Jesus boots, put our Jesus boots, put our Jesus boots on. Put our Jesus boots, put our Jesus boots, put our Jesus boots on.
Here we go.
A sacred heart faithfully beats into a fold. Jesus winking in the dark of your temple vault, fixing us over and over and over again for every stupid thing we do. Forgiveness 24/7. Jump.
Yeah.
I jumped up, Jesus jumped down, ever begotten again. Ever begotten, ever begotten, ever begotten again. Ever begotten, ever begotten, ever begotten again. Jump down, Jesus, jump down. Give us back the living man. Give us back the living, give us back the living, give us back the living man. Give us back a living, give us back a living, give us back a living man. I jumped up, Jesus jumped down. Show us how heaven's at hand. Show us how heaven, show us how heaven, show us how heaven's at hand. Show us how heaven, show us how heaven, show us how heaven's at hand.
Here we go.
Can reason your body's beauty knows no fault. Perfection sorted out by our tongues, way of thoughts. Come you hot-blooded angels with the guitars on the flag, moving the prophet's lips. Get up and dance.
Dance!
up, G's jump down. Man, you've been hanging too long. Man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging too long. Man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging too long. Man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging too long. Man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging, man, you've been hanging too long.
Nicely done. Can't go wrong with the blues. Awesome, awesome. Few announcements. Today at 12:30 on Zoom, we will be having a virtual memorial service for our dear friend Pat, who passed away a few weeks ago. Links to that are on the website, in the newsletter. We will be hearing from some of Pat's her neighbor, who was like family to her, basically, and we're gonna also open it up for those of you who would like to share of your memories of Pat as well. Please join us for that at 12:30 today. And also starting tomorrow evening, Reverend Kelly Issel and I are doing another book study as we continue our work to broaden our understanding of where we are in terms of racial justice and harmony in our country. This book study is the book 400 Souls, which is just an amazing collection of stories that traverse the entirety of Black America and history of Black America. So we invite you to that. Link should be on our classes page. And also next week, I'll be doing my final Ask the Minister service. So I love doing these, and from all reports, so do you. So this will be opportunity again. Basically ask me anything. You could submit those questions in advance at Rev Ogun at unityontheriver.org, or you know where to find me on Facebook or Instagram. And I might be brave enough to take some of your questions live in real time next week during the service as well. Not might be, I will be. Yeah, there you go. I'll take them live as well. So I already have a couple of questions rolled in already. So look forward to answering those. So that's the last Ask the Minister. So if you've waited 6 years to ask me something, now's your chance, people. Now's your chance. As always, please stay connected with us. If you're watching live Sunday morning, join us for Zoom hospitality at 11 a.m. It's not going to be on this link. We're going to use the normal hospitality link. So this Sunday service call will end in a few minutes, and then you're going to have to rejoin Zoom using that hospitality link you've been using every Sunday for the past year. If you don't have it, it's on our website. So join us for Zoom hospitality. We will have prayer chaplains there as well. If you want to have a one-on-one prayer, we just put you in a separate breakout room. As always, we have our midweek meetup and meditation. It's now only on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. So a couple more weeks of that before my time comes to a close. As always, please sign up for a newsletter and text alerts in order to stay up to date with what's going on. If you're not getting our text alerts, text UOTR for Unity on the River, UOTR to 313131. That is probably the quickest way for us to get information to you. As always, thank you for taking the time to invest in your spiritual community. You can head over to unityontheriver.org/donate. You can set up a text to give from your phone. If you haven't done that yet, text give to 833-702-4337. And now we're also on Venmo at UOTRA. That's UOTR with the letter A, UOTRA. That's our Venmo handle. And you can send donations directly to us through that as well. We thank you for your support and your investment in your spiritual community so that we can continue to do all that we do. I believe that is it for today. Thank you for joining us on this service. Let us energetically hold hands across space and time, connect with each other heart to heart as we end, as we always do. Let there be peace on earth.
So, and don't forget to sing along. We'll keep you muted so we don't all sound crazy, but here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
let us close with our prayer for protection. Hey, Brian, can you bring everybody up on this?
I have everyone can unmute themselves if you want to do the prayer of protection with us. Please unmute yourselves, or I'll unmute as many of you as I can right now.
So, this will be fun. Let us join together with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
We are
the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are
the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We
We
are
are the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
All together now.
Wherever
we are,
God is.
God is, and all is well. We are richly blessed.
Happy Sunday to all, and see you in hospitality.
Yay.
Love you all.
Peace and love.
Hey.
Woo.
Leave.